part 2 of the disastrous few weeks I've been having. And again, why you don't get a dog. But yeah, so if you haven't seen part 1, here is part 1. And this is part 2. So enjoy! Yeah, so I thought that we were getting somewhere. Like, okay, you've cost me an arm and a leg, dog, but, you know, you're worth it, it's fine. Yeah, okay, Lorna, that's pretty stressful having to look after a Springer after a fractured leg. Absolutely fine, yeah. Yeah, until he then eats a bunch of stones. 2 weeks later? Which is a whole new shebang of a story. So, honestly, this dog is going to give me a heart attack. I love him to pieces. I do, honestly. Like, you can see how upset I get. But honestly, so stressful. Okay, so the most recent issue. So, just as he's recovering from his, elbow fracture, all fine. And then he goes, we are looking after my godson, and I take the dogs with, because I'm like, I don't want Biscuit to be out of my sight, because obviously his surgery and everything else, and I've not really left him since he's come back. The dogs and everyone and godson is playing outside, and they're playing with stones, and Biscuit plays with stones like all the time. Like, he'll nibble on a few stones here and there. Like, it's never been an issue at all. But actually that evening or that morning, the next morning, I find out horrifically that he's eaten lots of stones. Like, horrific amounts of stones. So I'm like, so he was being sick. The bag that I was putting them in, like a poo bag, like, it ended up being like this big because it had all the stones in, right? And that didn't happen just the once. It happened about 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, how are you even alive right now? Like, honestly, I was so shocked. Like, he's there with all these stones in his stomach. Like, no wonder he didn't eat. Like, I was horrified. I was just like, what have you done, dog? Take him to the vets. Yeah, he's probably still got stones in his stomach. Fabulous. Of course you have, Biscuit. Listen, the amount this dog has been through in the past 2 weeks is enough for a lifetime. I swear to God. Swear to God. So in the morning he had to, we took him back to the vets, and he got a x-ray on his stomach to check, to see where the stones were and to see if there's any obstructions. The stones were there in his stomach, so they needed to be removed. But not only did they find stones, they also found a mass in his spleen. I mean, everything comes in threes, right? And this just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm able to talk to you matter-of-factly about it because I've kind of been through the upset, literally. Like, the vet called me and I was just literally bawling down the phone. So he had to have, as well as his surgery for the rocks, he then had to have his spleen removed, because they didn't know if it was attached to anything, if it had spread, if it was going to spread, didn't know if it was active or benign, not too sure. So we're currently on Friday, and he had his surgery last night. I called up today and they said that the surgery went really well as they'd hoped. That there isn't any signs of it going anywhere else, just in the spleen, which they removed, which is a huge surgery. Like, honestly, I'm so worried about him, about having this surgery and what it's going to mean and what it's going to how it's going to affect him or what I'm going to have to do. I'm so worried about it. If I wasn't already stressed about his bloody elbow, now this. So that's where I am. That's why I've been a bit distant and not posting on social or anything like that, or on YouTube, which I'm sorry about, and hopefully I can be back soon. I'm just kind of trying my best to look after Biscuit, and whilst also keeping everything afloat. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's been a bit crazy. But luckily, we got a call and Biscuit got the all clear. I had to ask her twice because I was like, are you sure? Like, really, is he okay? So yes, thankfully, it's all good. Apparently, it's just like a tumour growth that can grow in the spleen. So, thank God. That is all I can say. Thank God. Because I don't think I've ever been so afraid of losing him in my life. So, yes, you would like to know that he is absolutely fine. He is on the mend. We've been to Cornwall and done a few bits together, so it's been lovely to have him home. So yes, so that's why I've been busy, and I'll be back to YouTube videos now as normal. So thank you so much for keeping track, and I will be back soon.